Lesson 2. What if you're already manifesting? In Lesson 1, we identified the twin traps: frustration when manifestations don't appear, and begging for relief from challenges. Both keep you stuck in the same consciousness of lack and separation. So let's start unraveling this with a question that might sound strange at first. What if you've been manifesting perfectly this entire time? Stay with me. You're already creating your reality. Right now, in this moment, maybe you're reading or listening to this on your phone. Maybe you're sitting somewhere. Maybe you're feeling a certain way: hopeful, skeptical, tired, curious. How did this moment come to be? Well, at some point, you decided to read or listen to this. That decision was a manifestation. You manifested the action of opening this page. You manifested the focus to read or listen to these words. Wait, you might say, that's not what I mean by manifestation. I'm talking about the big stuff: the money, the relationship, the healing, the breakthrough. I know. But here's what's fascinating. You're making a distinction between small manifestations and big manifestations. And in making that distinction, you're actually revealing the trap and why you are stuck in this trap. Because the consciousness that clicks a link and reads a blog, that's the same consciousness that manifests money, relationships, healing, breakthroughs. It's all the same creative disruptive force. You've just been trained to think some expressions of it count and others don't. The real manifestation you've been missing. Here's what I discovered after years of frustration and begging. Every moment I was trying to manifest, I was actually manifesting something. I was manifesting the experience of trying. I was manifesting the feeling of lack. I was manifesting the identity of someone who doesn't have what they want yet. When I was begging God for relief from challenges, I was manifesting something too. I was manifesting the experience of separation from power. I was manifesting the identity of someone who needs rescue. In other words, I was already a manifesting being. I just wasn't conscious of what I was actually manifesting. I thought I was manifesting toward the thing I wanted, but really I was manifesting the experience of wanting, lacking, trying, begging, proving. And the universe, or God, or consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, was perfectly responding to what I was being, not what I was saying I wanted. The shift that changes everything. So here's where it gets interesting. If you're already manifesting, if you're already creating your experience in every moment, then the question isn't, how do I manifest what I want? The question is, what am I manifesting right now, and am I conscious of it? Let me give you an example from my own life. I used to pray for breakthrough in my law practice, for the right cases, for favor with judges, for success in the courtroom. And sometimes things would go well, and sometimes they wouldn't. And I'd be on this exhausting roller coaster of hope and disappointment. Then something shifted. I started recognizing that everything happening in my practice, the wins, the losses, the difficult opposing counsel, the challenging clients, the unexpected delays, all of it was showing me something about my consciousness, about what I was being, about what I was manifesting through my state of being. A difficult case wasn't something I needed relief from. It was showing me where I was operating from fear or scarcity or need to prove. It was revealing my consciousness to me. A win in court wasn't proof that God finally answered my prayers. It was showing me that when I operated from a different consciousness, when I saw the courtroom as a beautiful game to play instead of a test of my worth, reality responded differently. I was manifesting all of it. The challenges and the breakthroughs, the struggles and the victories, all of it was arising from my state of consciousness. What this means for you. That thing you're trying to manifest, that challenge you're praying for relief from, what if it's not separate from you? What if it's not out there waiting to appear or disappear? What if it's showing you exactly what consciousness you're currently operating from? The frustration when things don't manifest? That's not evidence that you're doing it wrong. That's you manifesting the experience of frustration because you're operating from a consciousness of, I don't have it yet. The challenge you keep praying about, that's not evidence that God isn't listening. That's consciousness showing you where you're operating from separation, where you're viewing yourself as powerless, where you're waiting for external rescue. Here's the wild part. Once you recognize that you're already manifesting, that you've always been manifesting, everything changes because now you're not trying to get power. You're recognizing the power you already have and always had. You're not trying to manipulate reality to give you what you want. You're recognizing that reality is already reflecting your consciousness back to you. You're not begging for intervention. You're not praying for stuff. You're recognizing that you're already the creative force. You've just been unconscious of what you were creating. How society quietly drains your power. Let's pull this down out of the clouds and into everyday life. We live in a world that constantly tells you one thing. You are what you have, what you achieve, and what other people see. Scroll social media for 5 minutes and pay attention to what you're being told to want. The body, the car, the lifestyle, the business success, the relationship goals, the spiritual aesthetic. Even the spiritual and manifestation spaces can become just another arena of performance. How high your vibration is, how many things you've manifested, how aligned your life looks on the outside. In religious spaces, it can look like how blessed you appear, how quickly your prayers get answered, how dramatic your testimonies sound. Little by little, you're trained to treat the outcome, or the absence of the outcome, as more important than you. That's where my friend on TikTok, Blackman EMD 17304, gave me language that hit me hard and gave me even more clarity. He calls it sociogenic entropy. Socio, coming from society, systems, culture, genic, generated, produced. Entropy, a slow draining, a running down, a loss of energy and order. Sociogenic entropy is what happens when the messages of society slowly convince you that the thing, or your failure to get the thing, matters more than the one who creates. Every time you make the dream house more important than the consciousness that imagined it, make the relationship more important than the being who can love and be loved, make the answered prayer more important than the awareness praying, you give a tiny piece of your power away. Not all at once, bit by bit. On the manifestation side, it sounds like, I'm nothing until I manifest this. On the prayer side, it sounds like, I'm nothing until God gives me this. Same trap, different language. And here's the twist. You're still manifesting. You're manifesting a weaker and weaker sense of yourself. You manifest the identity of the one who doesn't have it yet. You manifest the identity of the one always waiting for a miracle. You manifest the identity of the one who needs someone or something else to make them whole. That's sociogenic entropy in action. Society generates the story, you agree with it, and your inner power slowly runs down as you keep worshiping outcomes and their absence. Meanwhile, the truth is still sitting there, unchanged. You are the manifesting being. The stuff is the side effect, the question that opens everything. If you're already a manifesting being, if you're already creating your reality in every moment, then what would happen if your consciousness toward what you desire shifted? What if, instead of desiring the thing or desiring relief from the challenge, you desire to become more conscious of yourself as the manifesting being you already are? What if every desire, whether the thing shows up or not, whether the prayer is answered or not, became a doorway into greater awareness of your own creative nature? Instead of praying, God, take this challenge away, you say, shape my ability until it matches the magnitude of the moments placed before me. Now your desire is no longer, make this stop so I can feel safe, but grow me into the one who can stand in this moment consciously, powerfully, and lovingly. This is why Kabbalists say, real desire to receive never settles for less. You never actually have to settle for less in this life. Not because you always get the stuff, but because you can train your consciousness not to get caught in the trap. Every time you get caught in the trap, making the thing or its absence more important than you, you're operating from a false state of being. Your true power wanes a little, and your false identity deceives you. That's the sociogenic entropy we talked about, the slow loss of power as you keep worshiping outcomes, instead of recognizing yourself as the creator. So what if the real game isn't about getting stuff or escaping challenges? What if the real game is about experiencing yourself as the consciousness that creates reality? Quick recap. Lesson 2. 1. You are already manifesting all day, every day. Your focus, it's all manifestation. 2. You haven't failed at manifesting, you've just been unconscious of what you're manifesting. 3. Reality is reflecting your state of being, not just your words or techniques. The wins, the losses, the delays, the tough people, the breakthroughs, they're not random. They're mirrors showing you the consciousness you're operating from. 4. Society slowly drains your power through sociogenic entropy. You're trained to believe the outcome or its absence matters more than you. Every time you make the thing or not having the thing more important than the one who creates, a little of your true power leaks away and a false identity grows stronger. 5. You are the manifesting being. The stuff is the side effect. 6. The new desire, not escape, but expansion. Instead of God, take this away, you begin to desire. Shape my ability until it matches the magnitude of this moment. In Lesson 3, we'll explore what happens when your desire shifts from I want the thing to I want to know myself as a manifesting being. This is Sean Speak.